Hey guys, coming up on week 9 here. Here's our video, and I apologize if you hear some noise bleed from the other room. I'm at my parents' house outside of New Orleans, and they're frantically putting the final touches on my little brother's and his fiance's engagement party that's happening in a few hours. So if you hear any of that, I apologize. But this is as secluded as I can get in the other room. In any case, so here is the third phase of our overall team semester project. So last week we had our quiz on chapters 16 and 18. This week we have our usability test report. Okay, this is the train car that connects to the proposal. Okay, we are building a train here. First we had the letter of inquiry, then the proposal. Next train car is the usability test report. And then finally, the progress report before we edit and revise all the documents in a final portfolio that counts as your final 20% of your grade assignment submission. Okay? So what is contained within the usability test report? First, we're covering information in chapter 13. Now, before I describe it, oftentimes words convey the meaning pretty obviously. So what do you think when you think of the phrase or the term usability test report? To me, I think of it as testing your hypothesis if we think about the scientific method. So you start with a hypothesis, then you start with a broader theory, okay? Maybe after you've tested your hypothesis, okay? And then you keep building on that process until you get more and more and more certain, okay? Whatever your test is, whatever your experiment is, let's say. So you had a proposal. Now, all a proposal is, again, what is a proposal? When you propose to do something, you are saying, okay, here is the problem. We've addressed it in our letter of inquiry when we reached out to you, contact person at the representative industry, representative business of the representative industry. We gave you a proposal. Here's the problem we've identified. Here's how we think we could fix it. Okay? Usability test report is taking what you outlined in your proposal and actually enacting it, actually putting the rubber to the road. Where the rubber meets the road is a usability test report. Okay? So this first means that you need to come up with a test. Now, I don't need the test, okay? You and your group throughout the discussion board, remember, it's a discussion board week as well. Discussion board due on the 17th, Friday. The usability test report due on the 19th, Sunday. Okay, so maybe in the discussion forum, you guys can start talking about how is your test going to look like. You guys can go back and forth about that. I don't need the test itself. I need the results of the test. That's what a report is. A report is the results of something. So it's after you've conducted an analysis, after you've put your experiment to the test, your proposal to the test, okay? So if you want to look at an example of a test, a usability test, look on pages 348 and 349. That's figure 13.9 in chapter 13 in our textbook, okay? So it's a test that's addressed to a participant or some random participant, okay? And this has to do with improving the college's website, okay? So let's put this under the rubric of maybe technology, okay? Let's pretend you're in the technology group. This usability test might go hand in hand with something that you're doing perhaps. So they had a proposal. Here's how we're going to fix your website, St. John's River State College. Okay. Okay, so the test is given to a participant, okay, to see if that participant can actually follow the contents of your proposed solutions. Okay, it's a test. Okay, um, so it's basically directing the participant in this case to navigate to different areas of the website. Okay, and the participant is writing down, typing in each number here, how he or she did in performing the task that the test makers gave him or her. Okay, and the participant does these actions, does this activity. The test is given back to the person who built the test, you guys, okay? And then they look at it and they say, okay, well, it looks like our participant here had trouble finding his or her email portal in the website. How do we fix that? Okay. That's what the results show. Okay. Now, this is just one representative participant. Okay. I mean, in theory, you could give a usability test to a wider population of many people, and that might actually be even better and more scientific than just giving it to one person. But again, you guys are doing this in a more small-scaled way. Come up with your test, okay? You actually have to fill out the contents of your own test, okay? So there is some kind of imagination and play pretend going on here, okay? But the report that I see, of course, needs to look professional and rigorous, okay? But I would look at that as a model for the test. Now remember, you model your test based on your industry problem, okay? Based on the contents of your proposal, okay? And then you report back to me the results of your test, okay? So you're saying, hey, Mr. So-and-so of the Charmin Corporation, we put the contents of our proposal to the test. We asked so many participants to participate. Here's what we found. Okay, here's what we found. That's what I need. Okay, that's the report. All right. If you want to look at a little bit more about the contents or instructions on the report, I'd look on page 356. Okay, and there's a section there called interpreting and reporting your findings. So when you are looking at that, I would go down to the third bullet, reporting your findings. Okay, that's what we're looking for. The reportage, the report of your findings. Okay, and there's a little graph there to show you. You don't need to build a graph. Okay, you could just type out in text format the results. Okay. So again, this one is not just, it's two prongs. We've been doing one prong so far, reaching out to pretend representative at industry company A to say, hey, we want to work with you guys, letter of inquiry. Then to that same pretend person, a project proposal. Hey, this is what we propose to do. We think we could help you by this detailed breakdown here, okay? But now there's sort of two pretend people, okay? There's you all building the test. It could be a 10-question test. You can look at the example we talked about, okay? But then there's another pretend person, someone in your group, taking the test, okay? And then writing down the results, and then someone else in your group, in theory, looks at the results and builds the report, okay? So this one might be a little more challenging. The project proposal contained the most content so far. This doesn't have to contain a lot of content. It doesn't have to be 3 to 5 pages or 5+ pages like the project proposal. Really, 2 pages ought to do. Again, if you look at, first, I would say, look at what it means to interpret and report your findings, okay, on page 356, to build the test and to use that test as a template to build your report, okay, I would look on pages 348 and 349, okay? So that is the way I would go about it. You make a test, you answer your test, and the answers provide the data for your report. I get the report, okay? So again, this is train car C in the whole train that is our semester project. A being the letter of inquiry, B being the proposal, C being the usability test report, okay? And again, all it is, you're putting the contents of your proposal to the test. You're applying your hypotheses and theories in your proposal, okay? After that application, you report what you found, okay? So that's all it is. So I have the instructions in text format in the assignment section under the semester project documents and report section. The third is usability test report. Once you click there, you'll see a little text section of basically what I just talked about, and there's more information too in the usability test report group discussion under class homework in assignments, okay? So again, this is probably something you want to do immediately Monday. Start talking to your group in that discussion forum, okay? Which is due by Friday the 17th, and then the actual report itself is due Sunday the 19th, okay? So if you guys have any questions throughout the week, if I need to clarify any of this or help you all further, don't hesitate to ask. Shoot me an email. I'll be checking my email. I'll be back in town as of you all seeing this, in fact. I'm back in town Sunday afternoon, the 12th. You guys are seeing this first thing Monday morning, the 13th, okay? So feel free to email me whenever you feel you need to, okay? All right, guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I look forward to talking with you again next week. Bye, and good luck.